I am excited to be here today to talk about how to find a mentor. My name is Lovey Ajayi Jones, and this was a session that is a long time coming, and it's about mentorship. So one thing I want to start off with is understanding that like the vision that you have for your life is possible. I think our greatest dreams sometimes feel too big. So I want to always affirm that they are possible. How this is relevant is that we often think that we are supposed to figure out life by ourselves for whatever reason, because we might have been burned, because we've been told it is us against the world. But I have to say that without having a mentor, you will hit glass ceilings. It's not because you're not good enough. It's not because you don't work hard enough. It is just how the world is. The world is not a meritocracy. We can't just say everybody who's good is who wins. The hardest working people in this world are people you will never know their names. The people who bear the brunt of the world's pain on their shoulders are people who don't get glorified. So this world not being a meritocracy means, how do you win? Of course, your hard work is necessary. Of course, your grit, of course, your gift and your talent is necessary. But I'm telling you right now, the other way you win is by knowing the right people, by having access to the right people, by knowing who to tap on when you need help. And that's where mentors come in. That's what I really want people to understand. Women especially, we've been told we got to figure it out. We got to be superwoman. We got to do it ourselves. Listen, that's a trick of the patriarchy. It is a trick that we've been told, and it's something that has now held us back. So I'm doing this session because I want you to walk away with tangible tools to how to find a mentor. Where do you find them? How do you cultivate it? What are the actions that you take to deepen a relationship with somebody who you see as a mentor figure? Here's the thing about my career. You guys know me as a New York Times bestselling author. You know me as a speaker, a podcast host. I started my career with a blog. I have a viral TED Talk. I've done a lot of different things. What y'all don't ever see is behind the scenes. I have a group of people who I call my life's board of directors. And they are people who have basically, they believe in me deeply. They trust me. They love me. And they respect me. And there are people who have said, hey, what do you need? We got you. Let me give you an example. When my book was about to come out, I'm Judging You, the Do Better Manual, my first book. I wasn't a New York Times bestseller. This was 2016. And I remember I was like, I need this book to hit the Times list because I want more Black women to have access to these checks that publishers are writing. So I knew that I had this mission. It was really the first time that I realized I cannot do it by myself. It does not matter how hard I decided to work. I cannot sell enough books to make it to the list without getting the help of people. And I remember one of my first mentors, Lisa Stone. She was CEO of Blogger, one of the 3 founders. When my book was about to come out, she calls me and says, okay, how about if we set up a tech tour for you where you speak at all these different Silicon Valley companies and they buy a bunch of your books for their employees. And I was like, oh my God, that would be amazing. How can I make that happen? And she goes, I'll make it happen. I'm gonna make some phone calls. Sure enough, because of Lisa, I end up speaking at Amazon, headquarters in Seattle, Logitech in San Francisco, Twitter, Facebook. Major. She made it happen with one phone call. I could have tried to find an email address all day, would not give me the same thing. That is a mentor at its best case scenario. They open doors for you, doors that you might not even realize exist. They basically expand your world because they have more access. They have more skills. They have more insight. They've been at this. There's something that they know that you do not know. That is the power of a mentor. And to have somebody inexplicably believing in you is powerful. She was like, I got you, say less, I'll be back. When it was time for this new book to come out, another one of my mentors actually did something similar, where she grabbed all these high-ranking people and had them on one Zoom so I could talk about my book. That is what a mentor can do for you. Your own hard work won't be enough, okay, to get this audacious dream. They might present within your network, but can you have a network with no mentor? You absolutely can. But let's talk more about it. So what is a mentor? In the most basic sense of the word, a mentor is somebody who you deeply respect, who you have access to, who you can count on for advice, for insight, for access. That is the most basic way I like to define it. The difference between a mentor and a coach or a consultant is a mentor, you don't have to pay them. So a coach and a consultant, valid, pay your coaches, pay your consultants. That's not a mentor. The value of a mentor is this invaluable, this priceless access to them, where a lot of other people won't have that same access. So again, Lisa is an OG in the tech game. Lisa gets paid a lot of money when companies have her come in and sit with them for an hour where she gives them their ideas. But I can text Lisa right now and say, hey, Lisa, I have an idea I want to run by you. And she'll go, call me in 30 minutes. Priceless. The amount of stuff, the amount of information that I get from Lisa, priceless. Her and I have standing calls every month, priceless. And the thing about mentors is they're relationship based, they're not transactional, which is why they're a difference from coach and consultant. You know, most coaches and most consultants will send you an invoice in terms of, we'll talk exactly this many times a week or a month. Here's the bounds of the work I'm going to do for you. That is fine. That is something that I actually think everybody should have. Even though I have mentors, I still have coaches. But mentors are informal coaches for you. They give you just whatever it is, whatever gap that you have. That's what they fill. I think a lot of our careers and a lot of opportunities we get are often because somebody speaks our name up in rooms. Mentors are often people who have their own networks that you might not have access to, but that network might be beneficial to you. They come with all of that. So where do you find a real mentor? The biggest question people have is, so I know the point of having a mentor. I wish I had one. So now how do I get one? How do I find one? My top answer for you is organically. That means, who are the people you already know, who are amazing, whose career you love, or who are just really smart, even if they're not in the same industry as you? Who are the people who are moving mountains or even just doing nice things, doing good things from day to day? Who are those people? Do y'all have anybody who you think is in your network, who you think is dope, has amazing access, and could help you out? If you do, put an emoji. A few of you do. That means you actually have to expand your network. How I've met most of my mentors have been at conferences, whether I was speaking, whether I was sitting next to them, or I saw them on a stage and walked up to them afterwards. Let me tell you how you find a mentor. And it's not by walking up to a random stranger and saying, be my mentor. The way to cultivate a mentor, let's say you meet somebody amazing, just in a room, at an event, at a conference, whatever it is, maybe even at work, just walk up to them. Hey, I just think you're doing great work. I have such deep respect for you. I'd love to stay connected. And when this person says, great, here's my email address. Let me tell you something right now. That happens a lot, where somebody goes, here's my email address. You know what happens? People never use their email addresses to contact them. They never hear from this person again. That is where the mistake is. That is where people falter. That is where you lose your chance to get the mentor of your dreams. You just don't follow up. You don't hit them back up to say, hey, we met at, thank you so much for the words you gave at this conference. I'd love to do a 15-minute chat with you one of these days, just to see how I can be of value to you. Let me put you on game like that for real. That's the best way to impress somebody who you think is high power, high ranking. Is for you to offer to help them. Don't ask them for anything yet. Your first message to this person should be a message that offers up a service or yourself. That's not I want to grab something from you real quick. So again, you go to the conference or the event or a random festival and you see this dope woman or man, because your mentors, you should have a male mentor, at least one. And you walk up to them. You literally introduce yourself. Hey, my name is, I just loved that session you did. That was so inspiring. I'd love to stay connected with you. What's your email address? Again, when they give you this email address, what do you do next? When you get home, you could even give yourself 24 hours. Just say, hey, just wanted to make sure I stay connected. Would love to do a 15-minute conversation with you one of these days. If you want to even impress them more, say, I was looking at your website and I saw that blah, blah, blah. There's a problem here that I could fix for you. When you offer up something, the person goes, oh, wow, I'm used to people asking me for stuff all the time. Somebody's trying to give me something. You instantly stand out. So then hopefully you do this 15-minute call and you talk more about what you do, what your life's purpose is, the change and impact you want to have in this world. Just so this person knows more about you, because now you know more about them than they know about you. Now this is you introducing them and saying, there's synergy here and I want to be able to help you with something. It's good to offer up your help. It's even better to know how you can be of service to this person. Very few people do this, that if you do this, you instantly stand out. It is in this cultivation that you then grow a mentor. Just walking up to that same person at that festival and saying, hey, I'd love for you to be my mentor, will not work because that sounds completely selfish. You're telling me I want to pull from you. Will not work because this person does not know you. So they don't have any type of investment in you. They don't know why they should be spending energy and time on you. And 3, that's just weird. Don't walk up to random strangers and say, be my mentor. Cultivate the relationship first, which is why I'm always saying the best mentor-mentee relationships are built. They're not bought, okay? And they're certainly not forced. So how do you make sure this person now cares about who you are? You let them know who you are. You tell them, you have this conversation, and then you say, I want to be of service to you. In what way can I help? Or you even go, I've done a lot of my research, and I realized you mentioned in this one interview you did that you've never had somebody create the spreadsheet. Here's a spreadsheet. Honestly, people get jobs like that, not just mentors. You end up getting jobs, okay? I'm just letting you know. You will stand out purely because of how you came correct to this person. This person who is used to people constantly trying to take from them, you being the person that says, I'm going to give before I ever try to take, you will stand out. Every deep mentorship relationship that I've had has been because I've tried to figure out ways to serve them first. And then they go, oh my God, I love her. She's amazing. Or because I was in these rooms, I was speaking, they would see me, but then I would meet them somehow. I wouldn't even know what they did. And I'd find out way after the fact, after we've already had multiple conversations, like, oh, wow. The other part about mentorship is don't enter mentorship with the idea of what can they do for me. People can feel that. A lot of my mentors, actually, I didn't know what they did when they became my mentors. I just knew they were dope women who inspired me because when I saw them in a room, they had this great energy. And I'd walk up to them and be like, yo, you're amazing. Yes, I love your energy right now. Lisa, once again, my mentor, when I met her, I actually didn't know that she was CEO of Blog Her. Her and I met on the dance floor during one of the Blog Her after parties because we were both just living our best lives. And I think we bumped into each other and we were like, yo, you jamming. Next thing I know, she's like, oh my God, when's your birthday? January 5th. When's your birthday? January 5th. Then I was like, wait, you're Lisa Stone. Oh, shoot, I didn't even know. But again, do you love something about them? Can they bring something into your life that is not necessarily money or access? Do you honestly like who they are? And then they'll lead you to something greater. When you're in the room, don't constantly seek out the person who seems the highest, like the person who's on the stage. Who's the person sitting next to you? Find out more about them. Find out the person dancing next to you on the dance floor. Find out who's standing at the bar, who just ordered this interesting drink. Next thing you know, you'd be like, oh snap, you're the CEO of what? Because let me tell you something right now. The people who you want to mentor you are not the flashiest people. They're not necessarily the ones who walk in a room wearing top down designer. There's sometimes the person who's in the corner who ain't saying much, who's just watching the room. Meanwhile, they're the richest person in the room, or they're the most powerful person in the room. But they need to like make their presence known. Okay, so don't always look for the flashiest person. Look for the person you connect with. And then from there, you can build something. And it's in the genuine, authentic relationship building that you can create something beautiful, that you can now have a mentor who's like, when we met, you didn't even know who I was to try to even take advantage of me. So you weren't looking for somebody to take from. You were just being. One of my other mentors, Tashonda Brown Duckett, how she found, what's funny is she found me. And I was like, oh yeah, no, you about to be my mentor for real. I was winning an award. I hadn't written a speech. I was supposed to. I'm seeing everybody else who's winning awards, like coming out with speeches. And I was like, oh snap, I probably should have written a speech. Yikes. Anyway, they called my name. I go up there, and without a speech, I end up giving a speech that ended up being 10 minutes. And I walk off the stage, and she walks up to me and says, I need to know who you are. Because that was amazing. And that was probably 5 years ago. And I didn't go outright saying like, I need her to be my mentor. We started building a relationship. It's genuine, a sisterhood. Think about mentorship in that best way, because this person, whether or not they have this job, whether or not they have this title, should be a good person. So I want you to keep that in mind in this process. So how do you cultivate that relationship? One of the things I'm really good at is making sure that I give to people as they're given to me. It doesn't mean that you're doing tit for tat, that if somebody introduced you to somebody, you owe them something. No, I'm a fan of gestures of appreciation. So after that 15-minute call, let's say I find out, oh my gosh, you love smell goods. Great. A week later, you might have a cute little package waiting for you at home of just things that I think you would love. And they go, whoa, oh my God, this is so thoughtful. Be thoughtful. Okay. That's how you cultivate relationships with people. And with mentors who are often people who are busy, who are high powered, small things. You might be like, well, what do I get for somebody who has everything? They don't have everything. They might have what feels like a lot, but thoughtfulness is never everything. All right. You gotta do it. Gestures of appreciation is everything. So yeah. So again, you met them at the festival. You walk up and introduce yourself. You have a 15-minute phone call where you talk about what you do, your purpose, your why, and then you find out more about how you can be of value to them, and then find out something about them that's interesting. Act on that something. Send them a gift. And then what happens after that? You follow up once again. Hey, I hope you got your gift. Thank you for your time, for your 15 minutes. I really appreciate it. And then they'll start getting warmer and be like, oh my God, I really love this energy this person is bringing. That's how you get a mentor. Promise you. It is not by asking, be my mentor to a random stranger. It's about cultivating an authentic relationship with somebody who you think is dope. And then that person will now make themselves available, because you can say, hey, I have a question about this particular thing. I'm thinking about switching jobs. Could I have a little bit of advice on whatever it is? And this person starts giving you advice. They'll shoot you an email back and say, oh, well, that's a great question. That person's officially your mentor and you don't even realize it. We tend to think we don't have a mentor unless we've literally said to somebody, you're my mentor. No. Do you have access to somebody who can push you forward? You might be somebody else's mentor. That is how you get the mentor relationship started.